welcome back. I was told last time that we never introduced ourselves.
Who are you?
I'm Kevin Hauser, but I think I'm also commonly known as Tattoo for actually many reasons. But
Hi, Tattoo.
we'll keep one.
Nice vest you got there, Ted. Tell us about it.
This vest is actually quite special. You're not wearing one.
Well, you didn't bring it.
But you left it at my house.
But you didn't bring it.
So this vest is actually given to us, not one vest, but two, by a very good client, Mark. I wanted to thank you not only for a wonderful dinner, but for the fantastic vest. And
Mark, he didn't bring the vest for me, man.
But I will tell you, it's missing a little embroidery here. I don't know if I've mentioned that to you before. Have I ever mentioned to you that I think we should have Miles Franklin vests and like hats and
You think you're getting carried away with the vests, maybe?
No, I don't think I have nearly enough, by the way. I still have a whole section in my closet that is vest worthy. You don't wear vests?
No.
I don't know why.
I don't know. I'm into arms.
I think vests are good.
Yeah.
You know what else is good?
What's that?
$41 silver.
$41 silver. It is, yeah.
By the way, I think that we were just talking about this. I think it was it last week or the week before? But we were talking about potentially 41 plus silver.
Michelle's here.
Michelle is here, but
I
I
don't
don't
know
think
if we
she's
can get her
coming
to
in.
come in and say hi. Michelle, you should come say hi. I don't know if she'll do it.
Michelle just said hi to me, but I think that's the extent of the highs. Yeah.
She doesn't have her face on, I think.
That's true. She looks beautiful. $41 silver.
$41 silver,
Actually,
$3,550 gold.
Yeah, well, and rising. $42 silver on the futures. I was texting you late last night. It was 41.
Why don't you explain to the audience the difference between spot and futures?
The spot price is the price today that is traded today. The futures market trades at a different number.
In the future.
For the future, that's exactly what it is. And there are times where typically the futures market is going to be higher than the spot market, but there were times just in the recent past that the spot market is actually going to be higher than the futures market, which is very much indicative of the current demand for physical silver
called
what do you mean?
Backwardation.
Such a smart guy. It's truly. Ooh, touch that microphone. He's going to kill me. It's truly amazing that you know so much of so many things.
Somehow. Because it's amazing to you because you know who I am.
Yes. And then again, it's amazing to me that you know so little about few things.
Yes.
And those few things I question.
Yeah.
How do you not know?
Because it's common sense, minutia stuff that is just,
sometimes
it's distracting to me.
Yeah.
I probably do know it. I have not enough space in my head.
You do. You got plenty. Trust me. I know that you have plenty of empty space in there.
I may have.
You know what I did? I
What
did watch over the weekend. I really enjoyed it. Was your interview with Florian?
Nice guy.
Sweetheart of a guy. I'm sorry that he didn't have any batteries left in his crystal ball because mine ran out quite a long time ago, and I can't replace them. But it was very interesting to hear some of his predictions, both from a fundamental and a technical standpoint. I think he's a very, very smart guy, and I think he definitely knows what he's talking about clearly. A lot more than me, but that's not saying much.
Don't sell yourself short.
But what I thought was very interesting, and what we've talked about here, was that $40 level, and getting above it was very indicative. And then from a charting perspective, he said that,
of what?
We said that we could be going to 100, and then from a linear standpoint on a technical basis, he thought we could be going to 400, 500, 600, 700, which is out there. Clearly.
Look, who knows what real price discovery is in a market that's been beaten down by suppression for so long,
years and years and years and years,
but is being exposed now by the deliveries of the most sophisticated people in the world.
Yes.
He's a hell of a musician too, and I'm not kidding you. Like those mornings, Sunday morning, where it's raining outside and you just want to sit and hang out and have a cup of coffee and relax. It's wickedly good music. I was really.
Well, if it's raining, why am I sitting outside?
I sit inside.
Oh, inside.
Okay. Raining outside, sitting inside.
Yeah.
It's really awesome. Like very.
Is it instrumental type
yeah,
music?
it's like
because I know he was a DJ.
It's no, the stuff that I heard when I just looked him up was kind of like mood setting, positive vibes, kind of rhythmic, jazzy.
It's not what you go to sleep to at night with the
sorta, not
stuff.
really. That's changed my life.
I have to do that, by the way, because you know that I have.
I'll tell you what it's called for all those people out there. It's changed my life.
Because I struggle every night with it.
Yeah.
And I started taking magnesium. That really doesn't seem to work.
Well, we all sleep like crap, but
yeah,
the music, or whatever we call it, it's called the frequencies. That's there's a word for them, and of course, now that I'm looking them up, I don't find them. Hang on a second. Let me go home here. Like sulfonic. What is the name? It's changed. Keep going.
While
I'll
you're
find
looking,
it.
one of the things that, of course, you've put me to school again now every week and every weekend. So, of course, I'm doing my research. And Tavi Costa, who I think that you've spoken about several times, from Crescent Capital, he had said in the article that I read that the crossover movement that we're seeing right now is probably the beginning of the most significant rebalancing that we've experienced in recent history, which I think that this movement that we're seeing is clearly indicative of that. I mean, market, when the futures opened this morning, futures were looking down close to 500. The thing that was a little, I guess, not concerning, but a little awkward was that silver futures were extraordinarily high, gold futures were high, but the dollar index, the DXY, was also up marginally, and then it ran up higher.
When do you ever see gold and silver up in the face of a strong dollar?
Which is why I said this is definitely something that we have not seen before, and I think that it's one of those things where, when we look back at the last time gold has made and silver have, gold is clearly, we're sitting at an all-time high, but the last time silver was sitting at these levels or anywhere close to these levels, it was very short-lived. And now I think we're starting to see things that are not so short-lived.
My background's not playing. Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't notice. But now it is.
The stuff that I listen to, I can't even, man, without my glasses. Let me put, because this is big, because I'm going to help some people here, because it's truly changed my life. Honest to God, I'm dead serious.
I just actually had a phone call before that said that you've changed their life.
I have?
You have. More than you know.
Hopefully it was in a good way.
Gentleman from Brooklyn who now lives in Port St. Lucie. He actually was buying from a competitor of ours and is looking to see if we can do some business with him. And he said that
thank you.
All the wonderful things that many, 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 many people say about you.
That's very nice.
Changed his life. Yeah,
that's very nice.
It is very sweet.
It's weird. Like, it's a black screen, and I don't know. It's black screen, and it's the megahertz, like 963, 852, 741, lucid. Whatever.
We'll find it. How about this? We'll find it.
I'll find it.
We will be able to let them know next week on the podcast.
And we can want to play it and see.
In the interim, we have OC Stacker that wants to know, for Andy and myself, do you believe we're looking at the next leg up for precious metals rally?
It sure feels that way. Like, I've made a habit of not predicting things in a fashion whereby I think when you set yourself up to fail like that, it's bad. I like to think in terms of probabilities. We live in a world of probabilities, no absolutes. The probability is, yes, we're going to, it seems that way. The strength that it's gotten, it's broken out of a consolidation pattern. Both of them have. And if you look at the way the metals market has worked lately, it goes up, it consolidates for a period of time, it goes up again, it consolidates, and it seems like this consolidation pattern, which really hasn't gone anywhere for a while, it's been chopping around, seems to have broken through. I'll liken it to gold trying to get through 2000 and then trying to get through 2200. And then once it did, it just kept running. I would say that something feels very different in all of the monetary metals right now. Like, there's demand that is overwhelming the ability to knock it down. The one difference between now and any time I can remember is that when they knocked it down, it was like Mike Tyson hitting them in the jaw with the right hook.
Yeah.
And they didn't get up. In fact, they rolled off the damn, floor onto the cement, and you never saw them again for a long time. It's different now.
Well, I will say this, because the knockout punch that we saw, at least in the just near past, was the tariffs. How long ago was that? When did Trump announce the tariffs the first time?
A year ago or
no. When he actually announced that it was going to happen, when the market
that
fell
was
back
what,
down.
Liberation Day?
Yeah, around what was it?
I don't know, maybe March, April.
Okay. So the market got blasted then. We saw metals down, the largest percentage decrease I've ever seen in the metals market. We saw silver go from, I think it was 32 or 33 down to 27, 28. That's when I called you and said, what do you think of a swap? And before you could even answer, I had done it already. From that point till now, we're up 40%.
See, what I liked about that is you didn't call me freaking out. What's this mean? No. Is it over? Is it? No. A lot of people get too emotional and have been.
There was no freak out to me. I actually was, I know it sounds a little weird, a little excited that, you get to do those things, because there was some sort of, what I believed, a huge upside in getting rid of some of my gold, which, I love gold. Clearly, I follow you. But I thought there was an extreme opportunity to get silver.
Generational.
Yeah.
That's why you get it. You've gotten it faster than anyone.
Almost caught the bottom at 27 and a quarter around there. And I still ended up, I think, paying like 27.60.
Yeah. Phenomenal. I mean, look, we can make this easy. We have gold right now at roughly 35.33. Let's just call it 35.40. So if we take 35.40 and we divide it by even say 70, which is way higher than it's been on average for the last 100 years, you get $50 silver. So if all we did was just get to 70 to 1 on the gold silver ratio, you're at $50, and 70 to 1 would still be not only way off from its average, but 6 times. No, it's coming 10 times. 10 times higher than it's coming out of the ground at. The geological level right now is 7 to 1. When we talk about real potential, Kevin, like anytime someone says you can double your money, I'd say run as fast as you can. But when we can double the amount of gold we could otherwise get today by buying silver at a ratio of where it is here, watching it get down to, the average of roughly 45 to 1, 42 to 1, that would be incredible. But where we are here at 42 to 1, you're looking at $84 silver. So is it crazy to say this shit? No, it's not.
But
it
that,
isn't.
In one of the readings this weekend, it was one of the traders that's big in certainly metals, Greg Weldon.
Greg's been on the show. Greg's a good dude. He lives here and he's a big golfer. He lives out in West Palm or Palm Beach area. We were going to go play with him. He was going to go play at the World Series of Poker in Summerfeld. I got to reach out.
We should definitely play with him, because
he's about 6'10", by the way.
It's like me.
Yeah. He's a big dude.
By the way, tattoo is about half that size.
And I asked him, I said, is that part of the reason you were he was in the open outcry pits as a trader?
Yeah.
And he's
on
like,
the floor.
Yeah, because he's like, he stood above everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like Landon probably being in there. But he actually was quoted in an article this weekend that the market was primed to break free. And he compared that today's setup to currency interventions in the 90s, when the central banks could only delay the inevitable. But he said that if silver pushes and closes above 40, which it did on Friday, it would make headlines, which we're seeing, and CNBC had pieces on today as well, new waves of demand. Now, I don't know. I know that we were busy today from a retail perspective, but he thinks that the silver to gold ratio is headed back towards 60. So you're talking 70 and putting it at $50. And if we go to 60, we're talking about certainly north of 50. We're talking
$59 right now.
And I happen to have said, well, here publicly, not that I know any more than anyone, or the batteries in my crystal ball work better than anyone.
Common sense.
But I think, as we said, that and I know that you don't go out on a limb and make predictions, but I had said that I thought it is possible that we see 60 silver by year end.
The thing is, forever the West could do this without repercussions, without anyone saying, let's beat them at their own game. Let's stand for delivery. But they're standing for delivery now. So to short something without the ability to get it back to naked short something is as stupid as a mud wall. And so, yeah, I think that there's a high probability we are beginning to see. And I don't want to go as far as saying the end of suppression, but certainly it not being as potent as it is. And someone that I used to respect an awful lot, he's no longer with us, used to say, and I must have said it a million times in his honor, that you can only manipulate a market for an extended period of time by pushing it in the direction that it goes, or it is going. And most of my career, no one wanted this stuff. It was U.S. equities, U.S. treasuries, U.S. real estate, U.S. dollars. But as we can see, the dollars are falling out of favor. The treasuries are falling out of favor. The equity market is as overvalued as any time since the 1929 crash, and the institutionals are selling at $2 to $4 billion a week clip, as are the Bezos and the Zuckerbergs. You're getting warnings from Jamie Dimon. You're getting warnings from Ray Dalio. You're getting warnings from Warren Buffett, who's got $500 billion in cash. So all of the things that used to be aren't, and the sophistication of these countries and the understanding of this is how you win the game, it's real. And I think sooner or later people need to understand that. I think that Brent Johnson's an amazingly smart dude, and the milkshake theory that he has been right for a very, very, very long time, Kevin. And I think that the idea that everything has to flow back into dollars because of the indebtedness that's all in dollars has been true. But you can see that even that starts to unwind as subsequent purchases, subsequent trade deals, subsequent agreements are outside the dollar, which is chipping away at the dollar hegemony, and it's accelerating for sure. Just like the way that we overplayed our hand, Trump did, against India, threatening 50% tariffs if they continue to buy Russian oil. And Modi just was at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting, hugging Xi Jinping and hugging Putin, and saying we will not be bullied by the West, because even though, real quick, let me just finish this thought, even though we're their largest trading partner, represents about 3% of their GDP. So yeah, they don't want to get on the wrong side of the U.S., but I think they understand that the cheap oil from Russia and this growing unity on the BRICS is something they don't want to back away from either. In other words, India hosts the BRICS meeting next year. They're not going to be bullied by Trump or the West into pushing away from Putin. In fact, I think we've pushed them towards him, and maybe that's part of the idea to shed the reserve status. But all I can tell you is that I don't think we've seen anything yet. I don't think people are prepared for what it will be like in a dollar environment where the dollar is massively devalued. And let's remember, who filled the last Federal Reserve spot? Stephen Meering. What is he? The author of the Mar-a-Lago Accord. For a devalued dollar is what he's talking about. We will see a lower dollar, meaning we will see much higher gold and silver prices. We haven't begun to see how this plays out.
I think that you're dead on balls accurate, and we've been seeing a lot over the weekend with India, because we saw that they have been buying a ton of metal, and at the same time they have been loosening their treasuries. They're down to now, I think, 800 billion in their treasury holdings.
Even less, closer to 700.
So I mean, that says it all. Again, we're losing. No matter how you slice it.
Number two now is the UK. So you have two of the most indebted nations on the planet buying each other's debt. As Vince Lancy says, it's two drunk guys standing against each other at bar time to keep each other from falling down.
I can give you a very good example of you and I and people we know right now.
Yeah,
and you would know exactly what I would be talking about. But yes, that's it. So I think that let's do this. Let's get to a couple of questions, because we've been going on for about.
I don't think we can get Michelle to come in here and say hi. Can we get you to say hi, Michelle?
Michelle, just a little bit. You don't need anything, Michelle.
You don't need lipstick, Michelle. she's
She
just
doesn't
gone
need
like
any.
a ghost.
I mean, look, I know all of our viewers think that she's a beautiful woman and they would love to see her come in here. They would.
Come on, Michelle. Come say hi. Okay. Now my
All
wife's
right.
telling me,
I know.
Andy, do your own
I
show.
hear it.
Ooh, that was
I
scary.
hear it. All right, let's get to this question. Plant Vids wants to know if gold trades at roughly 80 times book price of the 4222 as it stands on the balance sheet. Would it trade at 80 times book if revaluation of 1,000 is on the books? What are your thoughts?
I don't quite understand that question.
I think he's saying if they revalue at 1,000 as
I
opposed to
think if they
4282,
revalued,
would it
first of
trade
all,
at 80 times book
I
of
mean, it could.
80,000?
I think the reval point would be the floor. They would peg it to a number where it would not drop below a certain number because that's what the whole system is measured against. Could go higher, but in other words, if they pegged it at $10,000 an ounce, I think that's a floor that will be supported by the central bank.
Yeah, I don't think 80,000 right off the bat is something that people necessarily.
I mean, look, if you repegged it, the whole idea is to devalue the dollar, which is what they want to do in order to make, not only I think to make exports competitive, but also in conjunction of pegging it to the back end of the treasury to bring back manufacturing. You know, you put it at 80,000, you've massively devalued the dollar to the point where you're going to need 100% universal basic income to come in and take over for the fact that everyday expenses will be extraordinary. And that's going to happen regardless, I think, with the idea, look, we're going to bring back manufacturing. We're going to peg the gold to the back end of the treasury to keep our borrowing costs at near zero. On the back end, we'll bring it back. We'll sell our goods into a very deflated or weakened, devalued dollar, rather. And over time, we'll grow our way out of this problem. And hopefully, people won't need universal income anymore. But I think that's pretty aggressive. I don't think you'll see it that high. But James Rickard said 24,000. That's the highest I've seen. Well, Mike Maloney said 10,000. In Mike's case, $2.5 trillion goes free
David
and
Morgan's
clear.
Got some high numbers, but I think Rickard's is pretty much the highest. And I know that's based on the money supply. But based on what you just said, Miggy has a very good question. Look at your screen.
What's the question? Where is it? I don't see it.
You don't see it. It's right there. Or well, Miggy wants to know how fucked is the USA.
Oh, there it is. It just popped up. Oh, this is probably delayed.
Oh,
okay. How fucked is the USA? Well, that's a good question, Miggy, and that's a fair way of saying it. You know, people get mad at me for using profanity, but sometimes I think profanity really hits home the idea. Like, the USA is, in many regards, fucked if we don't do something. And Richard Russell, my mentor, used to say that the U.S. has two choices, but to inflate or default. So what happens when the rest of the world turns away from us in the respect of not wanting our dollars or our treasuries anymore? When you have $7 trillion in debt coming due this year, when you have $28 trillion coming due in 3 years, you tell me, we take in $15 trillion in 3 years or $5 trillion a year in tax revenue. How do we pay $7 trillion this year with a $3 trillion deficit?
Don't we call that a Ponzi scheme?
We do.
Right.
We do. And so that's why, to Miggy's point, yes. And that's why you're even beginning to see the talk of gold revaluation. We've kicked the can so far down the road and we don't produce anything anymore that at some point things need to change. So, you look at it in comparison to the Chinese, right? The Gen Zers were polled recently. What is your dream profession? Almost 60% of them, or over 50%, said they wanted to be social media influencer, like you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have. Let me just see here. I wrote this down. At the same time, right now, you have. This is crazy. You got to hear this. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. China, mandatory AI education from primary school to build a national AI talent pipeline. From elementary school to middle school to high school, they are making it mandatory AI learning. These kids want to become engineers, they want to become physicists, they want to become astronauts. And what do our kids want to do? They want to be social media influencers. We have a culture of gambling, get rich quick, don't bust your ass.
DEI.
And what is AI? Unless you're, part of being a kid and learning is being out in nature and doing the things and learning how to work hard. And I'm concerned that AI makes it a lot easier to not work hard. Well, I'm not going to undermine the importance of an education, but like when you and I were in college and in high school, we had to dig, and if that meant opening up a thesaurus or a dictionary or using the Dewey Decimal System, right? At the library, who knows what the Dewey Decimal System is anymore? Using microfiche.
Now, ChatGPT, you write anything you want.
That's my point. But what that instilled in us was hard work and stick-to-itiveness, as my sixth grade teacher used to say. So that things are changing, but they're not changing in China. Yes, they're using AI, but they are making it mandatory for kids to learn it and to grow.
But I think that's why we're going to see that a lot of the real, I guess, the real influencers of their day are going to be coming out of there, whereas here, much of that generation doesn't even want to work.
No, I mean, that's the point.
They think that that's work, but it's really not.
That's the point. And so when guys, when people say China is going to be the epicenter of finance and AI, it's not too far off when you look at the steps that they're making. Steps that they're taking. I don't know.
They do mandatory AI in lower, middle, and upper school, and we do mandatory DEI trainings for lower, middle, and upper school.
Right.
I mean, that's the difference.
The point.
Right.
And so, where does it all lead to? Does the power shift from west to east? I think it does.
Yeah.
And you look at it from a historical perspective, and it started through Western Europe and came to the United States, and now it's going back around the East. And I would argue that's happening, and they're taking every step they can, including building relationships with India and Russia, and having organizational meetings like the Shanghai Cooperation Organization that, as it is right now, represents 41% of global population, 34% of GDP, 24% of the land masses on the planet. These are things that, that's just the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Throw in the BRICS and the Belt Road, and you're beginning to see that they have aspirations that we don't think about, and I think underestimating it's a very, very, very large mistake.
Which is, I think Todd just writes here, our kids are taught how to use debt instruments instead of how to balance, budget, and save.
Right. Well, it's your birthright to go into debt, school debt, credit card debt, mortgage debt, auto debt. Everyone's in debt up to their ass, and this is what I try to teach people by saying how important it was that my dad said I need to buy something every 2 weeks, to let the laws of compounding work for you instead of against you. Everyone is on the wrong side of the laws of compounding of time or interest. You need to make it your friend rather than having it chase you the rest of your life.
And that was in a time very, very different than where we are now. And I think we are in a way worse place today than we were back then.
Well, of course.
That is for sure.
But that's still the lesson should be that
100%.
It's hard to not want to run with the Joneses. I mean, it's easier said than done, but...
Well, we know plenty of people that tried to run with the Joneses.
And ended up getting run over.
Right.
And that's not a good thing to do. And I don't know, the wisdom of honoring your future self.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think we talked about it over the weekend. I said, as I started working with you, and you never made me promise, but you just said, this is what you should do. And I've done it.
You showed me your account balance, and I couldn't believe it.
And I'll tell you, the crazy thing was...
It wasn't even painful looking back at it, was it?
No, painful. And I was doing it as I had done very well in my previous life, and I was looking more to protect what I had done. But yes, I showed you my balance, and it's astonishing that this is what can be done.
Of course, it's just like working out every day for the last year. You'd look in the mirror and say, holy shit. But you can't do. There is no get rich quick in anything. I mean, you can be one of the lucky few who somehow stumbles across it, but the whole idea that the Chinese are learning is through hard work starting at a young age, to the laws of compounding is one of the most powerful forces on the planet. Let it be your friend, and don't go into massive debt. It's just, unfortunately, that's just the way that it is. The book, The Millionaire Next Door, talks about this, that the guy that appears to be the wealthiest guy with all the toys and the gadgets and stuff
has the least.
It's more millionaires in the United States drive Ford F-150s. Maybe that's because of the oil, but the point of it is that you, I think, reach an age where, yes, you want to run with the Joneses, but then you reach an age where it's like, what the hell does it matter? Yeah, shut up, Sean. What the hell does it matter?
What does it all mean?
You would rather have a secure future, and that's what gold and silver has done for me.
Oh, well, it's done.
And I see it's doing it for you too.
It most certainly has. It most certainly has.
I'm glad to hear
I have
that.
you to thank for that. No,
you know what? You're damn right you do. You do, because it was important enough to me to make it important. I mean, you're smart enough to understand it. I can't make you do it, but you were smart enough to understand it. My son is. He's smart enough to understand it.
He's one of the very few, though.
Dave and Lance do too. I don't know. I haven't talked to Richard about it or Duran about it, but I know Dave and Lance have. I know Josh does. I know Justin has, and it's life-changing. It truly is.
Listen, you've seen my numbers, so yes, it is life-changing. And just because it's there doesn't mean I stop. I still do the same thing. And the more they have,
I just did today.
I know. I saw you go out.
I just did today. Again,
I don't need. Huh? Did you buy me anything?
No.
Oh, that's nice. Less than you should be.
But I keep doing it because why stop? Why stop when something works?
What are you going to do? You're going to keep it in dollars?
Which is down 11% this year. It's stupid as a mud wall.
I mean, we have plenty of people. We live in a community of very successful people. And it amazes me how stupid a lot of them can be, thinking that the only way that you can accumulate wealth is by the equity markets, bonds, and things like that.
It's worked so far, but the jury is out.
But then again, so is the buy and hold situation. It used to be that you could buy Walmart, you could buy this, you could buy Kodak. Well, where's Kodak now? Not everything is always the way it's going to be. It's always the same until it's not. And when it's not, it could be detrimental to you.
Sure.
And that's really what listen, we don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't know that another Enron's around the corner or WorldCom's around the corner. But it could be. For all these monster companies, these mega cap companies, who knows what happens? All I know is that the markets were not designed for major large market cap companies to go up and down 30% in a day.
Right.
That's not the way it was designed to happen. So Harold wants to know, Andy, assuming massive inflation and dollar devaluation, how does the government afford UBI? Would the UBI be in dollars? Would it be a stable coin? Is that not how we progress to the CDBC?
Well, it just means that, I suppose it would be a stable coin.
I think you meant central bank digital currency, not central digital
no, it'd
bank
be
currency.
A stable coin. It'd be issuing a stable coins, which again supports the bond market. It would be something that would allow people. I mean, look, they still have the ability to print money. They're not backing the currency with gold. They're trying to back the bond market. They're going to let the currency die, in my opinion, until they're able to bring it back, resuscitate it through production and manufacturing.
Isn't it just another way to print money? Isn't it just a different vehicle instead of a printing press? It's just a button. Just in terms of the stable coins.
What it is, it's a synthetic demand for the treasury market. It's fugazi in the respect that if you don't have the world.
So proud of you, by the way. You did not know.
I like that word.
You did not know that word at all.
No, I like it though, but it means
in Minnesota.
And I hope I'm not saying something that's actually worse than I think it is.
You are not.
Okay, I just look at it as being a fraud kind of thing.
Yes,
but it is because if the organic demand is gone, well, let's find a way to create synthetic demand for the U.S. Treasury to hold it up when the rest of the world doesn't want to take it anymore because we're not revered and we're indebted and we're bullies and we're sanctioning. So it is, but that's the scam of it all. It's stable, really stable coin backed by debt, backed by more debt, That's
really, there's no real demand for it.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's It's engineered, manufactured synthetic demand, and they'll continue to print money to, to allow people to exist in this environment until we are able to bring back enough manufacturing to grow our way out of this problem. That, to me, is the idea. Whether it works, I don't know, and that's just my belief based upon everything I'm seeing. But
so Fugazi coin, basically.
Yeah,
Fugazi coin.
But people need to eat, and if eggs cost $40 a dozen, how are you going to do that? If a McDonald's hamburger, this Diet Coke is $6, what are you going to do? Well, it is $6 some places you go already. Go to a ball game and watch how much it costs for a beer. Like $12, $13 or whatever. But that's where we're going, and it will be at the expense of the dollar in order to support demand for the bond market, in order to bring back manufacturing. I believe that in my soul. I guess we'll see how it all plays out.
We have it looks like we have a Rocky the Flying Squirrel would like to take a vote with our listeners.
Where's Bullwinkle in all of this?
I don't know, but it doesn't even look like Rocky on that picture. But what the Friday futures gold close will be. His take is 3,800. That is quite aggressive. Quite aggressive.
Yeah, that's like on the putting.
How did golf go this weekend? I don't think it went well for me.
It went
well one day.
It went okay. You're always good, but it went okay. I thought it went good.
Not against Hal.
Well, that has its own things. But
3,800 is a little aggressive. I don't think that we'll see 3,800. Right now, the futures I'm showing are
3,600 certainly within range for sure.
No. We're at 3,600 right now.
On the futures?
Yes.
Come on.
35.99.50.
Holy Schmidt.
Okay. I'm going to go with that one. Yeah, the
That's
futures
how they
are
do it
30,
in Minnesota. You be nice and,
Not New York. 35.99.50.
Yeah.
Up 83, up 2.5% today. So I think 3,600 is definitely plausible, considering we're only a half a point away.
And most people who don't know me or you, who wouldn't even think about buying gold, wouldn't even begin to know. If you would have told me for all of the years when $400 was a big deal to me, when it finally broke 400, like a really big deal, I remember getting my first bonus a million years ago with gold at 500, and my dad's like, "You should put it all into gold." I'm like, "You out of your mind? It's at 500." I was probably 22 years old then, and 23, and I, didn't have the reference, but I don't know, man. It's crazy to me that we're at 3,600 on the futures and no one is screaming about this. It's because Bitcoin has stole the thunder and has stole, it's kind of like Bitcoin is on the front page or on the center stage, and back there in the corner,
groupies.
Yeah.
Gold's the groupie.
Yeah, well, gold just
but I'll tell you, I mean,
maybe that's by design.
Maybe. I mean, look, that my father-in-law, I love him to death. Very smart guy, but again, equities guy his whole life. And when he sold that house, I told you.
You would have doubled his money. Right now, it was like at 1,800.
It was lower. It was 16 and change. And you know what he said? Why? It's no yield. It doesn't pay me. Right? That's what it doesn't pay me.
Good thing he didn't say that to me. I may not be invited back to his house. I love him. Barry's a great guy.
It might not have paid a yield, but when you look at it over the course of 3 years, and maybe he saw and again, because he wanted to be somewhat conservative with the funds for the sale of a home, maybe he saw, 5, 6, 7%, if that. If you
and the dollar's down 10% this year, 11.
Right. Doubling your money plus at
with
that
no
point
yield.
in time with no yield. But now, again, instead of, let's say it was $1 million, it's $2 million. That $1 million that he got 7%, if that, over the course of 3 years, is equivalent to what? Maybe it was not even 1.1 with the declining dollar.
Right.
So what does it get you? I mean, that's the whole point. You have to be able to see sometimes the forest through the trees.
You're one of the few people I've known, Kevin, that has the ability to what defines smart people. Now, I would delineate smart and intelligent.
Yeah.
There are a lot of intelligent people like your father-in-law, like Russ. Smart means that you can change your opinion in midstream. Intelligent but foolish are those that get married to their own
and are unwilling to waver on it
that's
whatsoever.
That's why when Michelle came here, we talked a lot about bringing into the fold the Bitcoin community, and at least listening and understanding and saying, look, we're far more united and aligned than you think. Yeah, they may want to make a profit more than the gold community does, but the gold community doesn't shake, they're not kicking profit out of the bed for crackers.
No, but I mean, that's one of the things that I really loved about listening to Florian, because he also is a guy that is, clearly a gold bug, but he's also a Bitcoin bug.
You have to be able to understand that there's more to, as Robert Kiyosaki says, 3 sides to every coin.
Yeah.
Not just the front or the back, but you got the edge. And I would argue that we're closer to being on the edge with each other than one side of the coin or the other. But the ability to understand it and listen to it instead of dismissing these things, I think, is what separates people who win from lose. And to be able to change your opinion in midstream, say, you know what, maybe I wasn't right on that. And I admire you for being able to do that. I think that's something I've always been able to do. And I think maybe that's something that separates people who are successful from not, because life is fluid, life does change, and you have to be able to roll with the changes or you get rolled by the changes.
Yeah, well, listen, I think that my brother's another one that he was the one that originally talked to me about Bitcoin. I thought he was a lunatic. At the time, I was only in stocks and bonds and finance.
But the first time I met you, Bitcoin was your thing.
That's it.
I remember having the conversation at my house with my parents when they came to visit.
And I was trying to get you and your dad to buy a couple of coins each.
Right. And look, it's not who's right or who's wrong. It's the ability to pivot from an ideology and listen and grow and learn. Because if we never accept or learn other viewpoints, we never grow. We learn, as I say all the time, more and more about less and less, till we're experts on nothing.
That's right. That's right. Well, GL Rye, I'm sure, unless that's a GI, and my eyes are just terrible because I'm getting so old.
Hey, it's Dennis.
It could be. Says I have a 75% and 25% gold, 75% treasury and 25% gold portfolio. Treasury interest covers my expenses. Is it smart play to continue as is until Social Security begins? I need $1,200 a month to retire, and we'll get $1,800.
What are the durations of said treasuries?
Say.
I wouldn't hold anything over
3 months.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I think the treasuries are.
And by the way, none of this, just to let you know,
it's not financial advice, right? But I would simply say it isn't financial advice. But if it were me, look, I own some treasuries.
Yeah. But we're at the same point. It's nothing more than the 3-month duration. That's
you can't say that the past performance is indicative of future, but holding treasuries versus gold has been a loser. Because again, let's look at last year. The 10-year treasury was up 4%, 4.5%, and gold was up 40%. You look at it this year, gold's up about 40%. The 10-year treasury halfway through the year is up 2.5%, but yet the dollar's down 11%. That dollar down and gold up 40% is a net swing of 50% purchasing power.
When people look at interest rates, I don't think that they really, I don't want to say everyone, many don't know about real rate of return.
Right.
I think that's the bigger issue when you talk about inflation and everything that goes along with it. Real rate of return makes a difference. Robert Hutchinson has a question on Glint. He said, Andy, if we use Glint to use as legal tender in states that allow to spend our gold and silver, would that mean that we would not be responsible for tax on gains? No, that's not what it means. When you actually use Glint, and even if you use the debit card that comes along with it, the Master Visa, whatever it might be, every time you make a purchase, it will trigger a taxable event for you. And at the end of the year, I think you have to actually pay, though, to get that 1099 from them. But yes, every transaction will incur a taxable event. Is that correct?
Correct.
With Glint, yeah.
Yes.
So, it is something to be cognizant of when you have a Glint account. And I found, because Andy has one, I have one, I still have found that monies that you put into Glint, I don't want to spend my silver and gold.
Right.
So whether or not it's tied to a debit card, I'd rather just use actual money that's in the bank because I want to get rid of dollars and I want to save my gold and silver.
That's the ironic part about it all. Everyone wants it. Like I had a buddy who used to work at Gold Money, which was James Turk's company, and they said we issue all these gold MasterCards, no one ever uses them. That's the ironic part of it all. It's a gold bug's plight they never want to sell.
Right.
Once you hold it, you never want to sell it. I don't think you've, other than switching from one to the other, have you sold an ounce?
Never.
And that's,
only bought.
Right. And you don't want to. If you had to pay for something, you wouldn't want to cash it out, but you would if you had to. You would. That's what.
If I had to, I'm going to my cash reserves. I'm going to wait. If I need to wait the 30 days to get my T-bill, and use funds from that. But I don't. Fortunately, knock on wood, don't need to sell metal to cover expenses. And there's far more things I would do before I would sell silver, gold, or platinum at this point to pay for something.
Right. Well, I don't want to dismiss the glint, the unique nature of it. It's there if you need it. Too many people look at gold, I think, though, as only for emergencies. Yeah. It's there for opportunities. In the case of glint, it's there for liquidity.
No, and I think that it's a great alternative to keeping money in your traditional banking system. That's what I would say.
I look tired.
Huh?
I look tired. I'm not, though, but I look it. I
don't think that you look that tired. I just think you look old.
I'm just such a dick.
Meanwhile, what about when we went to the casino the other night for dinner with the boys, and I'm sitting.
Yes.
Yeah. We went to the casino, and I am at the table, and our friend, his name is Flip, who is, by the way, almost 5 years older than me. The dealer looks at me and said, "Is that your son?" I said,
"I love that."
Oh, I hated that.
I loved it.
And by the way, I happen to think I look younger than everybody.
Well, you happen to be wrong.
Clearly, I was wrong. I mean,
Flip is always smiling with those bright white teeth.
Wow, that is. And then he came over and I said, "This woman thinks that you're my son." He said, "No, man, I'm 58." I said, "Actually, that's 6 years older than me. I think it is." But that was a good night. That was a fun night.
Yeah, absolutely.
We should have another one of those.
So I'm just replying to Alyssa, putting out a fire real quick. He'll be done in a second.
Let's see what else we got here. How you doing, Stacking Surfer? Good to see you. No, I'm sorry, Michelle is not coming on.
I will see you next week, Surfer.
Yes.
I'm assuming we're doing every other week.
Oh wait, I think I'm on the wrong one. Sorry, John. Have you put the? There we go. Hi, Andy. I think it means, can we leave money in the banks? I already bought some silver and my husband.
By the way, people
gold.
should check out Stacking Surfer. It's a great show, smart guy, good community. Like to see his numbers get built up because he deserves it.
What do we think? Any thoughts on copper right now? Joseph Hick wants to know.
Look, it's on that list with silver and platinum that has been, called, what is it? Critical.
Critical minimums.
I think there's a lot to be said for it. My personal way of owning copper has been through Freeport McMoran. That's typically the way I own it, copper stock. But I wouldn't buy anything physical copper.
Yeah.
There are companies that sell copper coins.
We talk about how much weight silver has.
Yeah.
I mean, copper, geez.
Well, at least, and copper is a fraction of the value per ounce or per pound. Yeah.
Rip City Bandwagon said, "What is the largest correction you see happening from here on out for gold? Is sub 3,500 likely gone forever if another leg up occurs?" Give your opinion, because I certainly know I have mine. And by the way, a lot of my opinion. Oops, sorry about that. I have my own opinion, but I will say, after listening to Florian, and I think he knows what he's talking about, it's possible that we see another sharp leg, but just like we saw prior, I think that for that sharp leg down, all that's going to do is lead us to another monster rally up.
I mean, like if you find that, let's say it was 2000, I'd have to look at a chart, but let's say that
year 2000.
No, let's say that the price, the rally that we are experiencing started at 2000 and went up to 3,600. Richard Russell would say that Dow theory would say, and again, I'm using Dow theory here, but same thing, that you could see up to a 50% retracement. and then it goes back up from there. So, could you see gold dip below 3,000? I guess it's possible. I don't think that way though, Kevin. See, it's hard for me to think that way because I think ultimately that's not the real risk of it falling. I think that there could be some volatility, but quite frankly, I see the price going much higher from here. There might be periods of time where it falls back quickly.
Yeah.
But that's the way it was. It doesn't seem to be doing that anymore. You don't get that massive
and it's funny you bring up the Dow theory, but I think that because of the Dow theory has so many more moving parts to it. You're talking about PE ratios and market caps of companies that I still think are so super inflated. I don't know that you can actually compare that. And I know that you always are siding on the air of caution with these things, and you don't like putting those type of numbers out there.
I don't even think of them.
I know.
But I don't think how low. I mean, I would be shocked if it ever got below 3,000 again. But hey, anything's possible.
It's possible. I
remember when gold went from 1,200. What was it? It went from 1,000 to 700 in a period of a few days. That was a 30% drop. Silver went from 21 to 9. 60% drop, and then it shot right back up. So does it happen? It could, but we're in a different time right now. I don't know. I guess. To me, I would, if that were to happen, I would look at it as a.
I think that the surge in silver and gold these days in the United States, it's not random. This is a lot of catalysts that are coming together, and we know that the central banks, they're not putting their foot on the brake. So them not doing that, I don't think is going to make any real change anytime soon. I think that this is yet again creating more demand. We have way too much monetary uncertainty, geopolitical issues throughout the world. Ooh. That doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. I think that we continue to go up.
I love Johnny B. I haven't seen him in a while, but look what Christopher
Bravo?
Wright has to say.
Where am I looking? Oh, where am I looking?
It's way down towards the bottom.
Oh yeah. Put it on. There you go.
I've never heard Johnny say anything like that, but look, if it went to 42,000, well,
you know what I say.
I'm actually going to retire.
By the way,
she's not wearing lipstick, so I suppose she won't come on.
Yeah.
But I'm out of here.
I think that you can retire. I think at 42,000, you might be able to retire.
Or go to Vegas.
We could do that.
I'd have some fun. I could do some damage.
Well, we are going away, but we're going to be doing a show away when we go.
We are?
We are.
Oh.
Well, we should.
Say that.
Well, we can. That's easy.
Well, a cruise was different than going to Aruba.
We can get Wi-Fi. We're going to be going to Aruba. We're meeting a couple of family offices too. But yeah, we're going to be in Aruba, so we should definitely. We don't know the date yet. We'll find out. It'll probably be that.
Scuba in Aruba?
Ooh. It's going to be the new shirt. Scuba in Aruba.
Well, triple
digit silver.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get back to a couple of questions. But we will be going to Aruba, and we will be doing most likely our podcast from there. Maybe a little shorter. I think that they have Wi-Fi, so I think it should be fine. Hold on, I keep going to the mouse, but it's on a different computer. It's really confusing.
I suppose it's because it's my computer.
It's just, I mean, my head's fault, just mind-boggling. Had the dollar not strengthened today, how much higher would gold have gone? 36, 3,700. Who knows? The bottom line is it did strengthen. But as Andy talked about in the beginning, it's not very common that we see the dollar, the
$85 and the dollar up.
And going up,
That's huge.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
That's huge.
But I mean, look, things that don't make sense are happening. They are. They're happening. And I think that there is going to be, I mean, this weekend, we had people that never talk about metal saying things at the club. Never. They never talk about it. And I think that's because we're hearing CNBC talked about it today. They never talk about gold and silver for the most part. They don't. It's like the little stepchild. It's the red-headed stepchild.
Shut up, Sean.
Right. It's the shut up Sean's. It's exactly it.
Yeah.
Now, Sean's getting put in a little box, and big old
Well,
Andy's
wait until
coming out.
something like a correction happens and gold accentuates. This has all happened with no public participation. Josh sent out a thing today I saw saying premiums have come down, which is nuts. Bid premiums have come down.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy. It's absolutely.
The public isn't involved in this market. It's the biggest, most well-informed money in the world that is. That's another contrarian indicator that tells me we're nowhere near the top. Nowhere.
Listen, and that's why I keep saying, for me, from a selfish standpoint, I'm not pushing for silver 75 tomorrow. I still want to accumulate while it's cheap. And that's what people should be doing. They shouldn't be just looking to acquire a little bit here and a little bit there and then have it run, because what are you going to do? Where are you going to put your money that if you do want to take advantage of selling it at that level, the only thing that you can do, in my opinion, that makes sense is swap your silver, buy your gold, or have your platinum and, sell it and buy your gold as well. Palladium, not so much, but that's the point. Don't rush it. I would do what you can, buy more when you can, and be happy that it's staying down at these levels where it's much more affordable and cheap.
Do you find it crazy that I remember gold at $250 an ounce and silver at $3 an ounce?
It's crazy.
Silver,
you were telling me the other day,
$3 an ounce.
when we were talking about, can you imagine, X amount of dollars when, you're whatever you're making, and then being able to buy gold at 200. And I'm thinking 200. I think, now when we're buying an ounce of gold, it's.
I mean, I was buying tubes of gold eagles for $6,000.
That is just 20. By the way, there are 20 gold eagles in a tube. So
yeah, and now they're
$300 an ounce. $300 for an eagle.
They're now almost $80,000 for that tube, just under.
Yeah, every eagle right now is going to be, what do we close, 35,
3,600 and change.
3,600 and change for each eagle.
Right. So that's 12 times appreciation, and that would have been in 2002. I remember
23 years ago.
Yeah. So, to those folks who say there's no yield,
right?
Well, who needs yield when it goes up 1,200%?
That's the point.
It's 50% a year on average. If you take 23 years and 1,200%, is my math right there? Almost, yeah. I think it is. Yeah. It doesn't always go up that way, but that's the one thing about the metals and the purchasing power that gold maintains. It's
and I think once you own it and you hold it, I think there's something to it that makes you almost like become a bug about it.
Let's look and see. What was the average home price
in 2002?
In 2002.
Yep.
The average home price in 2002 was $226,700.
So it's about
for new homes and $201,700 for existing homes. So let's use the existing homes
divided by 200.
Divided by 252.
So call it what, about 1,000?
201,700 divided by 252 is
800.
800 ounces of gold. So you could have bought that house with 800 gold eagles.
What's the average home price today?
Today, the average home price is
it's got to be more.
It's 420,000. So 798 is what it
divided
came out
by 3,600.
798
is 116 ounces is what it would have cost you today.
Right. And so you can buy 7 houses.
Correct. That same amount of gold
buys you 7 houses.
Would not only buy you the house, but it would afford you another, what is that, another million? That's got to be a lot more than $1 million.
No, way more.
You're talking the remainder of the, that would be 684 ounces left.
Times, call it 3,500.
That's $3 million.
That's $2.394 million. So you get your house plus $2.5 million to go party with.
That is purchasing power.
But that's the point that everyone misses, the stupidity of Wall Street that has us all believing about the yield. Well, I'll take, look at the 10-year Treasury paying a 4.5% yield in a dollar that falls by 11% halfway through the year. What good is the yield doing you?
That was the whole point. That's the whole point. Look, you've been I think, instrumental in literally in changing a lot of people's thought process.
I hope so.
In the last, call it, really in the last 8-9 years since COVID. You've been, and
since 2019 is when I really started
I
doing
would
it.
say that you probably are probably one of the most recognized in this industry and the most respected.
Well, thank you.
Not
Somehow.
just because, and this isn't blowing smoke up your ass. This is me telling you from a business perspective, from being one of your closest friends, that you are authentic. You tell people the way it is, good, bad, or indifferent, the good, bad, the ugly, and there's no other reason for it. It's to do the right thing, DTRT, and
which should not be mutually exclusive with running a good business.
100%.
You know, yeah, I want to make money. Yeah, I want to have a business that my family is proud of, and can someday take over and have a third generation Josh and maybe his sisters someday. Who knows? The point of it is that one without the other doesn't work. If you're short-sighted, it doesn't work.
It goes back to some of the other, companies that we unfortunately have the pickup to do of these things.
I want to address something.
And you tell me, when you found out about it, you said do something about it.
I need to address something, and I need you to respond to this. I'm not going to mention any names, but I think it was specifically targeting me.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who I think is a very smart guy. I'm not going to mention his name, and I actually like his work. He mentioned something to the extent like, there's a well-known gold company that is talking to people about how they were screwed by companies selling quarter-ounce, half-ounce coins and this and that, and trying to talk you into buying other coins from them. I'd like you to address that because, first of all, number one, we've always told people that they don't have to, and there have been a lot that haven't. When we just get 100%. Them out, his comment was, you need to call the Department of Commerce, the Better Business Bureau, all those things. Don't we always tell them that's an avenue for them as well?
100%.
Why don't you explain it? Because it really bothered me. Painting, and I don't know it was directed towards us, but I'm assuming it is.
Listen, and people can say whatever they want, and I as we always say, I'll be more than happy to sit on a panel with any one of these companies, CEOs, COOs, CFOs, whatever it is, and talk about their business model against our business model and how clients fare between the two.
What would you think about instead? What would you think if the clients just went and got an attorney, went to the Commissioner of Commerce and to the Attorney General? Is that a better route than what you're offering them? And are you? Is that even something we can address?
I think that what we try and do for people is give them a way out or help them out of a situation that they should have never been in.
Do you tell them that they're required to purchase from us?
I never
you tell them that they don't have to.
I never even mention anything to anyone, nor to any of our guys. What we do is we say, whatever you decide you want to do when you get your metals sold. I never say a word about it.
It really bothered me because I know that that's not what we stuck our neck out doing this shit, and it bothers me.
And the thing is, most people do want to be in metal. They made the right choice. They bet on the right horse. They bet on the wrong jockey.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is that if you look at where a lot of these people bought their metals, it is way lower than where we are today. But when you look at their account statements and what the buyback values are today, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10 years later, it's nowhere compared to where they should have been had they bought, whether it's Eagles, 10-ounce bars, rounds, anything that you want, anything that you can pick.
One of the comments was that we buy it back below spot. Well, I mean, if gold Eagles are being bid at spot or below, what the hell, and the thing is, explain why we buy back spot this horse shit that no one wants.
The only reason that we buy it, we have absolutely no use for any of these metals except for the melt value. But the problem is melt value, as Andy was talking about, we have to, we get these things bid down to us, and all we do is there's a cost to melting it down. So that melt price has to even be lower for things that we never even want. That's the only
I think it would be worse if we bought this stuff back and then resold it to the public.
100%. What are we going to do? Where are we going to sell it? Now we're selling the same stuff that no other dealer wants to buy, that the only value to them would be melt value. So there would be no point. We as a company made the decision that if we're buying it back to melt it, to get credits for it. That's what we use it for. And I'm very transparent when I speak to anyone about it.
And do you tell them you are welcome to just get your cash and be...
What? There is absolutely zero obligation. I actually have somebody right now that I helped through a situation, and he decided that he wanted to go with the same company that, let's say, didn't do the very right thing by him in buying all the metals, and his $200 and some odd thousand after he got his account statement was halved, and then 5 years later he's just at about 90% of what he paid after this market has soared. So clearly they didn't do the right thing by him. He decided to take their offer and buy 10-ounce bars.
He said, you'll have to sign an NDA and this and that. It's just, it bothers me because he doesn't understand the way we do it. He doesn't understand the facts, and it's annoying as shit. Let me just be straight up, because I know that our motives are pure with this.
And I'll tell you,
sorry to belabor the issue.
And I think that what we do is we touch on this a little bit, and then we have to go for the night. But just understand something: most of these companies, they make you sign contracts. They put you on a recorded call. They make you say all the things that they want you to say. What do we make our clients do when they call? What client calls you and says, "I want to put $5 million into an IRA"? We make them sign a contract with us?
No, I ask them to send me an email. That's it.
That's it. That's all we do. We don't tell them that we have a certain percentage markup that we're allowed to charge. When a client calls me, I don't need to wait 35 minutes, 4 days, 3 weeks to give them a quote on what it's going to cost. We're going to quote them right there and then. You want to buy it right now? This is what it's going to cost you. We're going to be X amount over spot. You can look at all these other reputable places to get it, comparison to where we are. Very much, we are one of the most competitive out there. At times, we'll try and match if we can't or beat, but we don't make you sign contracts. Why? Because we don't worry about a 25, 35, 40% spread over some acronym that we've never heard about. And that's what these guys do. We don't record you. There's no reason to record you. We ask you to send an email letting us know that you want to place an order, and that's it. It's very cut and dry.
Someone named Mark St. I can't read him. He's saying, Kevin, share my story, he says.
Yeah, that's
Mark St. Hilaire.
Yeah, he was one of these people that actually had. This is actually it was one of Stacy's. Yeah, it was one of Stacy's clients, and she asked me for help. And Mark got into a situation where he was one of these people that had bought metals at some ridiculously absurd levels. And we helped him all along the way. And Mark got his money. We didn't tell him he had to reinvest with us. That was never part of it. Mark wanted to be in metals. He wanted to be in the right metals. He didn't want to be in things that at some point in time, if he ever needed metal to be sold, he'd have to worry about going to a specific dealer, or a dealer not being, wanting to buy any of these metals. It's absurd. I mean, these people are doing this because as well as I do, to date, I think there are more people out there, at least it feels that way. There are more firms. It feels that there are more firms out there trying to screw than companies that are trying to do the right thing. And it's it's bothersome. It's almost like, having too many Stratton Oakmonts against the Morgan Stanleys and Goldman Sachs.
Well, it didn't start out this way either. I went on Mike Adams' show. I talked about something that I had seen, a couple of clients sending me this. And then I get a call from a guy that says, you need to meet this happened to me. You need to meet this guy named Kyle Seraphan. His father and I are best friends. And I talked to Kyle, a former FBI whistleblower, and he had me on a show, and I talked about it. And then other people said, well, would you come on our show and talk about, because this isn't something that I started out to do to milk the public or to find an angle.
This is something anyone that says that's horseshit.
Well, I just found that what I was seeing was just absolutely gross. Had some conversations with you about it, and we figured out a way to help people, period. I don't need to keep going on and justify it, but it bothered me that he wrote this, because I know who he was targeting, and this is a person that I won't even go down the road because I have plenty I could say about this person, and I won't because I actually think he's smart and I actually read his stuff, but it's bothersome to me.
You know, and it's funny because there is, and this isn't just us, because there is somebody who used to be a C-suite executive at one of these places that well before we started talking about what happens here, he was out there as a whistleblower for this company.
Yep.
And this is not
He's
new.
also been on Sarah's show.
Right.
He's been on Kyle's show. So word is getting out. Anyways, you're doing a good job helping people tattoo. And
look, that what we do is we try our best. There is no guarantees. The team here, we do try our best to help everybody out in the right, in the right time frame, in the right way, but there's no guarantees in it. But the best way to not have to worry about it is to do your own due diligence, to protect yourself.
Were you gonna sing Rapper's Delight as we leave today?
No, that might be an Aruba.
Oh.
Maybe we'll save it for Aruba. Or maybe we'll get Russell to do a little
guest.
To maybe do a little Run DMC. Well, yeah, maybe we can. Why don't we get him on and put him like in the hot seat and ask him?
Ooh.
I
think Morgan Stanley may have a problem with that.
Yeah, maybe do a little shut up Sean to him.
We could just put him in a wig.
Yeah.
He's bald.
Yeah,
it'll fit.
But didn't you see the picture when he dressed up as John Lennon?
Yeah, so
we could.
Why don't we do that?
Why not? He's just an unnamed person.
Yes.
You can put like a mask on him, and, it's like.
Well, he's got how many nicknames does the dude have?
Give him one a lot. We just give him one for here.
Yeah.
But all right, let's call it a wrap. I think we've been
Kevin,
on.
I need a friend. Don't go.
Yep. Do we want to? Hold on. Yeah,
he already
let's
did.
Get the special. No, I didn't do the specials yet. Let me get them up there. I think I'm missing one, by the way.
I went through these specials with Dunnigan today, Liberty and Finance. To me, the one that sticks out above all else.
The 2.5 Indian?
No, I love the 2.5 Indian. And of all the numismatic coins, it's about the only one you can easily buy all of them. There's two dates. One is expensive. The other one is kind of expensive. There's like 15 or so dates. I don't remember. It's been a while. But
I love the Indian. I wish I could maybe buy one and make it a necklace.
I have one on I have a $10
Get
Indian.
out of here.
Yes.
No way. I didn't know that.
That's a $10.
Oh my God. What? Oh my God. Is there a zoom button? Can we zoom in?
Have it upside down, Andy.
Can you see?
Wow, you do look old.
I know. I feel old.
Did you see that what someone wrote?
What?
What?
And that was not nice.
Well, I think it looks good. No?
I'm gonna post it.
No, don't post it.
Don't post it.
If it's not nice, don't post it.
Don't be
Well,
dumb.
it says, Michelle does not have her face on. Hey, Andy, have you seen yourself?
Yeah, I know. I look tired. I know. I don't wear makeup though, and I was joking. But Michelle doesn't ever go on unless she's all dolled up.
Let's get you one more question and the answer.
What about the MS62 $20 Liberty?
Oh yeah, that's right.
That is my favorite tattoo.
Oh, thank you.
Does he know any other tattoo? Is the question.
That is true, except the one that used to be in the corner over there.
Hervé Veliches?
Yes, I listen.
What's your favorite gold stock? Which one?
Has invested in Glint.
I like First Majestic Silver Stock with Keith Neumeyer.
Yeah. And by the way, that's done extraordinarily well. New 52-week high today, I believe.
Yeah, I like I like Pan American Silver is my biggest holding. I like the gold royalty stocks of Freeport. I'm sorry, no, that's copper. It is Franco Nevada, Royal Gold. Silver royalty stock would be Silver Wheaton. I think it's a better way of doing things, but those are the stocks that I personally own.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna last question. We'll tackle and then we'll go. This is Mark Taylor wants to know, when we buy back, do we offer better than spot for sovereign coins from countries outside the United States?
Most of my career, the answer is 1,000%. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, right now, most of the sovereign coins, even U.S. These days are bid under spot. The retail market right now for selling coins is, as Andy would tell you, horrible, horrendous.
Horrible.
But that's why we say it's a buyer's market for the retail right now. I mean, premiums are sensational. You know, a few years ago, you were paying $6, $7, $8, $9 for some of these sovereign coins.
MS-62 $20 Liberties, I flew around the country for 2 years paying $1,600 with a $1,000 gold spot.
Right.
And now you can buy them for $70 back a spot on our special.
So that's,
everything is
it's cyclical. It'll change. But when it does, it could be like that. And we were in the situation back in March of 23. It's not just a 1 day or a 1 week premium change. I mean, there were times where we had literally 20, 30 premium changes intraday where brokers were selling metals that were under our cost, that we couldn't even do it. We were losing money on things because they weren't even checking regularly to the price increases on the premiums. And any one time something happens, any event, it just could be explosive.
I will say that you've elevated your game.
I think I'm on a higher seat.
No, I'm not talking about
Oh, okay. Because I'm looking here, and it looks like I'm
usually
a little bit
you're
higher
like
now.
way.
Yes,
Yeah. But I'm very proud of you. You're doing your homework. You've done a great job.
Listen, you know that this.
You're not so much a sidekick anymore.
You know that this means a lot to me, and working for Miles Franklin is not just it's not just a daytime gig. It's
if you're successful at it,
but it's part of the family.
God bless you, Kevin.
We'll
always leave the light on.
And your son's doing a hell of a job in doing the things that he does. That hopefully he took certain things, responsibilities that I had, and kind of passed it off to him. And I think he took the ball. He's running with it. He's doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Bang up job.
Appreciate it.
Very proud of him. I know I am.
I am too. That's nice of you to say that.
So with that, I think today's Tuesday, right? We missed Labor Day, which we had a nice Labor Day. It was nice and relaxing.
I'm playing golf with some clients tomorrow.
You won, by the way.
We did win the tournament.
We didn't talk about that.
We won the tournament, yes.
We
played really good as a team. Lashana even played good.
You had really good scores, too.
Well, you're a beginner, and you play better than the other girls.
I don't consider myself a beginner.
But you are a beginner.
You don't consider yourself a beginner?
She's played. How many rounds do you think you've played in total?
I'm not a beginner.
How many 18-hole rounds have you played? How many 18-hole rounds have you played?
Yeah.
5?
Well, if you combine all the 9 holes.
How many?
A lot.
How many? 10? 20?
You know what? I actually don't.
I played more in a year than you've played in your life, times 10.
Okay, is that a competition?
No, it's not. But you're still a beginner, and I gave you a compliment. You played great.
And by the way, you should be playing a lot more than you do.
I know,
but
I don't.
I'm intermediate.
Oh, okay. You're in.
I'm not advanced and intermediate.
All right.
Granted, my handicap is still 54.
Okay, her handicap is 54.
Right.
Well, I rest my case, Governor.
By the way, I'm almost 54.
Yeah.
I am 50.
Age.
Oh my God, I'm my handicap.
Yes, you are.
Holy shit.
By the way, I should only hope when I'm 70, I can shoot my handicap
on
the 18.
That ain't gonna happen.
No, it's not. What about 80?
You'll probably have underwear
What
that
about
is as
80?
old as your handicap.
80? Barry doesn't shoot his handicap.
You're talking not your handicap. You're shooting your age.
I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, your handicap's not 80. You're
no.
Right.
But when
You'll have
I would
underwear
like if you shoot your age,
you would have to shoot 5. Like not even.
So Barry's 82. He doesn't shoot 82. He's lucky to shoot 92.
Yeah.
Lucky. I don't know, but I will say. You definitely. Oh, you're playing tomorrow.
I'm playing with some clients or some people I was on a podcast with.
Yes.
One of them can't play, so there is an opening for you, Kevin, if you'd like to join at 12:00 noon.
Oh, you know what? I moved my doctor into the morning.
Well, you can join because one of the 3 guys said he can't play. So why don't you join us? And you too can meet these guys.
I will probably do that.
They were referred to me by my good friend Russell Cohen.
Yeah,
Russell.
We met Russ at the
very smart dude, and
Russ was great
and
good guy.
Certainly,
I enjoyed actually spending time when we laughed, and a lot when we saw him at the Rule
Smart
Conference.
guy, and
had some friends in common.
Yes, we did. We had some. He grew up in Great Neck, so yeah.
Russell grew up in Great Neck.
Yeah,
didn't know that.
Yeah, grew up in Great Neck, so he knows a lot.
He's been great. He's been Russell. If you're watching, I appreciate you and very much. So
yeah, and another shout out to Mark. I appreciate the vest. I love it.
Dinner.
Thank you again for dinner.
How about Olivia Newton-John walking into the restaurant?
Oh my God, Mark, how was that Olivia Newton-John woman? She was wow.
For those of you who don't know, if you have watched Grease,
Better shape up.
The end of the movie when she walks in all dressed in high heels and leather
and heels, stilettos, and
her hair
body tight and everything. didn't look like Olivia Newton-John.
No,
The
everything.
body
but,
was
yeah,
similar, but the face was definitely not.
everything but.
But,
Yeah. Face.
God, do I love this. All right, well, it is now, what time is it? It's 6:20. So
we must go.
Yes, we
It's
must
been
go.
a long day.
It has been a long day.
I've been
It's
here
been
since
a busy
8:20.
day.
I have now been here for going on 10 hours. That's too much.
Yeah, and you know, let's
And you're
listen.
gonna go home and work.
Not only that,
I'm going to
but
go home
we
and work.
have
No,
the
actually,
market.
I don't think I need to work tonight. I've done it all over the last several days.
We have the market's doing some crazy things. So we will call it a day today. I want to thank everyone for stopping by, subscribing, liking, smash the like button, tell your friends, tell your family. And we'll see you a week from today.
So.
Oh, actually, we'll see you on Monday. Today's Tuesday, so are we here Monday?
Yeah.
Yes. So we will see you on the, what is it, the 8th? I think it's the 8th.
Well, let's look and see, shall
Yes, we shall.
It is the 8th. Way
The
to go,
8th.
Kevin.
Perfect. So we'll be back on the 8th, 5 o'clock. We'll throw it on Twitter. We'll make sure that everything's done. Appreciate you for stopping by. And any
Peace.
questions, if you have them, call
Send
in.
them to Kevin.
info@milesfranklin.com. What was that?
Send them to Kevin.
So, yeah, no.
All
info@milesfranklin.com.
the really in-depth, long email questions.
Just info@milesfranklin.com. Wow, is that itchy as hell? Oh my God. I'm sorry. And I don't even know the phone number, but the specials are on the bottom.
952-929-70.
Are you ever going to make an appearance and let people see what you look like? Or
That
are you
rain
just
looks
kind of
good.
like, you're like Charlie's Angel. You're Charlie. You only get to see the voice.
What was the show with Tim Allen when he
The
was
guy
like
over the fence.
right? He's like
Home Improvement.
Home Improvement. He's like, you know, that's it. But
We'll get Michelle on one of these days.
yes,
She's still here. Did she leave?
No, I think she left.
and I got to tell you, that is one beautiful timepiece that you're wearing. The glistening and
This?
yes,
Thank
beautiful, absolutely.
Got
Beautiful.
that from my friend Jeremy.
You chose well.
Thank you.
It's been a wonderful time.
Yours
with
is
you.
not so shabby
No,
either.
no, it's okay. It's been an honor, a pleasure, my friend,
God bless.
my mentor.
God bless.
We will see you on Monday.
Goodbye,
Au
everybody.
revoir. Have a good one.
Bye.
Be well. I keep using the mouse to try and end it, but it's the wrong computer.